Welcome to the Backlog Chronicles.
We are a podcast that challenges fanboy beliefs
and takes a pragmatic approach to all things gaming.
We strive to create a community for self-thinking fellow gamers.
A community where logical conversation can take place.
And a drive to further one's knowledge of gaming can be sparked.
Take a seat.
Show's about to begin.
That never gets old, man. It'll never get old. It will never, ever get old. How is everybody doing today on this shitty-ass Sunday? Welcome to the Backlog Chronicles, my friends. Thank you guys for being with us. Whoever's with us, Pampa, appreciate you, brother. Today, we have a special guest.
Yo, thanks for having me.
What's up, Crystal? How you doing? How you doing?
Same old shit, different toilet, man.
That's right. Absolutely. That's a perfect analogy. I love it.
That's right.
Crystal does her own show. It's called The Game Junkie Show. It's a community show that she does, and we are fans. She does a great job with it. Very natural and very, it's not scripted, which is really cool. Yeah, so great personality. Love to have you. We thought you would be great to have on. And honestly, we're very happy that you're here with us.
Thank you. Awesome compliments. And thanks for asking me to come on. I'm pretty excited.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So Mike and Kevin are probably, Mike has some shit going on. I know you're in here, Mike. I love you.
He always mistakes me for Jordan because
I know
we look the same.
Oh my god! I said Kevin. I'm so
almost.
What the fuck,
identical.
Man? Why do I keep doing that? Oh,
because I think you're going senile, man. I'm sorry.
I am.
Yeah,
I am 30. I am 38 though, so I am creeping up there. But,
it starts happening.
I know.
Crystal's like, what?
I'm older than you. But that's bullshit.
I know.
You look really good for 60. All right, you really do. You're looking pretty damn good.
He's sharp as a thumbtack, though. I am definitely not. So Jordan and Mike. Mike is probably not going to be joining us. Jordan's going to be late. He's probably out parading or doing whatever the hell it is that he's doing, shirtless somewhere in the state of where does he live? Washington. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I got with me today my fucking son, Kevin. What's up, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Everybody in chat wants to know why it's a shitty Sunday. Is it just because
Sundays
are inherently shitty?
No.
Because everybody goes to work on Monday.
Yeah, that's why. You just have that weird, annoying fucking feeling on Sunday that the next day is Monday and you got to go to work and you got to sleep early and it's raining outside. It's been cloudy. It's that's what I mean. It might have been a little bit hyperbolic, but you know what? Fuck it. It's still a shitty fucking Sunday. So yeah.
I'm doing good, man. I've been doing a little more gaming this week, which is good. I decided to just ignore my lawn and not mow. That's gonna come and bite me in the ass, but I don't give a fuck. And it's hot, so I've been staying inside with the AC and just chillaxing on the recliner and playing some games. So I'm doing better this week on the gaming front than I was last week.
Good, man. That's awesome. I'm gonna get to that in a bit. Crystal, let me start with you. What have you been playing?
I'm not gonna lie. I've been playing Cyberpunk. I like it.
Yes,
you have an ally.
Speaking my language. Yes.
I know it's held together with duct tape, but goddamn, they did some great things. And Judy Alvarez. What do you want?
Yes,
I'm only human.
Yes,
Rick Hart, I've been enjoying. Sackboy, Astro's Playroom, and I'm going to dive into Plague Tale. I think here shortly.
That's awesome.
Yes. And you're playing those on your PS5, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I just put I'm gonna put in the chat that you are a Cyberpunk fan. I think it's gonna.
I like it. I feel
Nothing
like
wrong
I
with
can
that, man.
be
love
fair
it.
about things. There's things that have pissed me off about it and things that aren't perfect, but to be fair, there's some really great things that they've done, and I can't take that away from him.
Yeah, I know. Well, you're preaching to the choir. I know a lot of people. I remember I was on a show after Cyberpunk came out, and I was basically saying everybody who knows me on Twitter, or at least my friends, they know I love the game. I love the game. I think it's amazing. I didn't have problems with it the way a lot of people did, and I thought what they did with it as a video game was excellent. And a lot of people thought, like, because I say that, I was giving an excuse to CD Projekt Red for all the way that they handled it, which is far from it. I mean, sure, they fucked up, and I mean, that's history. I don't want to repeat it, but that does not take away from the fact that the game is amazing. And I will tell you, I was devastated when I could not hook up with Judy because I played a fucking male, and I was so stupid for doing that.
Judy's very good. I have a story for you. I'm going to tell this story. Both me and Gurney gave me legend status because the first time we met virtually and we're doing a podcast, I told him this story, and I said, I'm playing Cyberpunk. It wasn't very playable on PS4, so I waited a little while and I played it on the 5. I was really excited to be a female and have a wiener. Okay. I was like, this is finally my moment. I get a wiener. I'm very, very excited. Give me the biggest wiener I can get.
Fuck yeah.
So excited. So I'm in the game and there's a few glitches in it. And I don't even remember what happened, but my dick got shot off. And I just remember like,
wait, that wasn't a bug, was it? That actually,
I don't know what happened, but my
amazing.
Just like, boop, and it started flopping next to my head. So like, here I am and I'm like, oh God, because I didn't realize I did something and my pants came off because somehow I accidentally undressed myself in the game, which is awesome. So I'm sitting there and like, here's my female form and then my wiener. And I'm like, and in my brain, I'm like Pinocchio. I've always wanted to be a real boy. And there's my wiener. And I don't know what to do. And I'm like, if I kill all these cops and don't get my wiener back, I don't think I can live with that decision. So I just ran and let them kill me. My wife was like, why did you die? I was like, so I can get my dick back. I can't live in this game without this.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I need this pixelated penis. So they thought
I never had. Those types of bugs would have been cool. I didn't have that. I had like floating dead bodies in the elevator and shit like that. I actually took a picture of that.
Everything changes when it's your pee-pee. When your pee-pee is just flopping and you're afraid of losing it, especially
amazing.
when you finally got one. I was like, I would die for my penis.
No, I agree.
I made that decision that I will die for.
It's true. See, now you understand, right? Yeah. I would also die for my penis. Yeah. This is good. This is a good start.
This is a very good start.
I'm crying already, so this is amazing.
Well, I feel like guys can they can bring me into their club because I get it. I died for my wiener. I died for my wiener. I get it.
Well, tainted brain. Okay, what have I just wandered into? Yeah. Welcome to the show, buddy. Oh man.
Shit.
So are you on your first playthrough, Crystal?
No. I'm actually right now. I got it paused in there. I'm doing some endings on my second run.
Oh wow. Nice. Okay. So I did. My first run was 140 hours. Is what I did. I started out as I literally cleared everything off the map, and then before you get to the final thing where like they tell you, hey, no, there's no point of no. That's a point of no return. So what I did is I forwarded the time 1 week 4 times to make sure that I wasn't missing out on anything, right? And I did. I ended up getting 2 missions. One of them was Judy's, the scuba diving thing, and then there was another one with I don't want to say anything, but yeah. And then after I forwarded the clock for a month while just standing outside that building and nothing showed up, I'm like, okay, it's time.
Isn't that the worst, playing as a dude and Judy's like, she just makes those comments to you like you're a friend and you're like,
just please, just
friend zone.
I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I had enough. I had enough heartbreak about that. Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad. So I'm saving my second playthrough for the enhancement, the eventual enhancement. So I think I'm gonna end up starting out as a corpo at the time when I do it, and I will definitely start out as a female corpo. I'm not making that same mistake.
I'm on corpo now. My second.
Are
round.
you?
I'll save my third and more to the upgrade.
Sure.
I think
That's cool. That's awesome. Kevin.
Yo.
What have you been playing, man?
I have not been playing Cyberpunk.
No, you
Although
have not.
now you made me want to start up again. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the next gen enhancement. I did not make Mo's mistake. I'm playing as a female with a vagina. I'm ready for Judy. So, I knew that going in. Yeah. So anyway, I have been playing. I'm gonna fucking butcher this, but I have been playing just today and yesterday, thanks to Pampa. I have been playing Visage or Visage.
Visage
And
yeah.
Visage, and it's frightening. It's very adult, and it's a horror game, and it's not huge. I don't know that it had much fanfare, but I think it picked up a cult following, and it's a first person horror, and it's getting pretty fucking creepy. It's hard. It doesn't handhold you. And it just kind of makes you like, I've wandered around for fucking an hour, not doing anything, trying to figure out, what the hell, how do I progress this story? And you do eventually get there. You just got to slow your ass down, look at walls, look at objects, and kind of, put two and two together. But I'm actually really enjoying the game so far. I have no idea what's happening with the story. I'm probably about 2 hours in, and I'm just looking to see how this unfolds. Other than that, we've been doing some Halo 5 nights where I am really fucking bad at Halo. But I enjoy occasionally killing my co-hosts or people on Twitter. I'm not the worst. Like if you put me there with maybe people that had no use of their hands, I might be better than some of them, and that's not even a guarantee, but I'm pretty sure there's people that are worse than me. And the thing is apparently listening to me play Halo is hilarious, because I don't know what any of the fucking guns do. I don't know how they fire or what they do, so we've been playing matches where the guns are random. So you just spawn with a random fucking gun. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no clue. So I sit in front of people and try to shoot something, and it's like a charged weapon, and it's pretty hysterical. And I feel like at least I'm a good sport. But it makes me want to play. Hey, thank you.
Yeah, you suck.
It makes me want to play Halo Infinite, where maybe I could actually start fresh and
and
stand a fucking chance. But yeah, I've been playing a bunch of other shit too. I've been going through my Xbox Game Pass quests, and just fucking, I picked up Quantum Break for a little bit, and I played a little bit of that, and I'm like, this could have been such a better game. We were actually talking about it. If they just cut out the fucking video sequences in Quantum Break and just kept with the the video game and not the episodic whatever the hell that was. And yeah. So I mean, at least I've been playing some shit, which is better than last week, where I'm
surprised you've been playing Quantum Break, man.
Yeah, and I was talking to Mo earlier. It's been like 8 years, I think, since I played it. I did finish it. I did finish it. But I feel like it could have been something better, And it's funny playing Quantum Break, because then you realize how much of Quantum Break they took and shifted over to Control, and how similar a lot of the enemies are, and the shooting and all that. So I still think my favorite Remedy game is probably Alan Wake at this point. But yeah, yes, it was. Just bouncing around different games, kind of waiting for something to grab my attention. So yeah, it's been good though.
No, that's cool.
Grab your attention.
Shooting my dick off.
Judy rhymes with booty.
You want me to play Cyberpunk? All right. I mean, it's getting to the point where everybody's like, the gameplay's fine now. So maybe I don't wait. Maybe I just do it. But I'd be heartbroken if if I did it and then somehow the save wasn't compatible with the next gen version or some shit like that. That would just kill me, because I want that eye candy.
Yeah, definitely. Brad Pitt, Mr. Bad Bit. Welcome to the show, my brother.
Oh, shit.
When should you upgrade to an OLED? Well, we are going to get into that. And you know what, man? I'm going to tell you, don't be a sucker, okay? I love you, Joe. Don't be a sucker, man. All right? Okay, well, I'm a sucker too, but I'm gonna stand my ground on this. I'm not getting that Switch. I'm gonna give my reasons why. I'm gonna give my reasons why. Okay, let me end with me real quick. Yeah, slow gaming week. I've been playing Doom Eternal. Played it. I don't know if I mentioned it last year. Or last week. I played it last year at release for like an hour, and then I put it down, and then I got back into it last week, and it's been incredible. I put out a tweet earlier this week about a few days ago. Yeah, I played 2016. I love 2016, and I love Eternal, and I like what they did, at least, with the narrative direction and how they went more story heavy. They dove more into Doomslayer's background, and I liked also. I'm in the minority. I really did like the platforming aspects of it. I know a lot of people were not too fond of them, but for me, I just like the fact that they at least tried to do something different. Because I know people would have been happy if they just basically rehashed 2016 again, but the fact that they gave it some verticality, and you can clearly see the large size of the maps, they're fucking huge. Every map you get into, and there's a lot of secrets and a lot of shit that you can get into. So it's I love it, man. I'm obsessed with Doom Eternal right now. It's amazing. That soundtrack, everything about it, the way it feels, the way it looks. And the ray trace mode on the Xbox Series X is beautiful. I know it's also just as good on the PS5. If you guys have Doom Eternal and one of those new consoles, definitely check out that RT mode. They did a fantastic job with it. Other than that, nothing at all. Actually, there's this anime. I don't watch anime. Usually, like, that's Mike's thing. In terms of like us actually Mike and Jordan. And the only anime, or if you even want to call it, that I've ever seen is Dragon Ball, and everybody knows I'm obsessed with it. But outside of that, I've never really dove into anime. And then there's this new show on Hulu. It's called Demon Slayer. Apparently, like, it's been getting really popular. It's pretty fucking good. I'm honestly surprised. It's really good. It's got a fantastic story, man. I'm very, very
good as Invincible.
Ooh.
Is it that?
I don't even call Invincible's not anime, bro.
Okay.
I'm talking I'm talking like Japanese anime. Like, okay. That's what I.
All right.
I should have been more clear. Is it as good as Invincible? Honestly, man, yeah, the story's fucking great. Okay. The story's fucking great. Yeah. Well, let me finish the season, and I'll get back to you about that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get into it. First thing on the menu, my friends, today is, I'm surprised this really wasn't discussed much, but maybe because it was a rumor, but apparently Grand Theft Auto 6, it's according to VGC, it's still 4 years away, and this was corroborated by multiple sources. Apparently it's going to have an evolving world map, is what they said. It's set in modern day Vice City, multiple protagonists, and expect it to come around 2024, 2025. And the reason why it's going to come at that time is because, if you guys remember Schreier in 2020, when he was still with Kotaku, he put out that article about, the work conditions at Rockstar, and how apparently, like, in the future, the next Grand Theft Auto was going to be, a bit smaller, just because of the way that, compared to the way they used to make it from before. If you want to have good work conditions, and you have to spread this work out, right? So it's going to take longer than before. Even with crunch, it was taking years for it to happen. Apparently this was corroborated. Again, Jason Schreier himself said it, and then there was also Tom Henderson. This is an insider. He's not a journalist. He previously leaked accurate details about the Battlefield 2042. And he corroborated this himself, and VGC as well. They also heard from their sources, and I like VGC. I trust them. So the whole point of me mentioning this is because I'm not a fan of Grand Theft Auto the way that I used to be when I was younger. Like when I first got my PS2, I got Grand Theft Auto 3. That was amazing. Everybody knows what a landmark it was in gaming. And then obviously you had Vice City and whatever. And I kind of started tailing off after Grand Theft Auto 4. So whenever it comes, personally, I don't care. I'm glad that it's back in Vice City. Vice City was fun, and a modern day take on that would be cool. I don't know what I can even say about it other than, with the work conditions and whatnot, it makes sense that it would be coming in another 3 or 4 years. You know what I mean? And they can take their time with it. I mean, as we know, Grand Theft Auto 5 is available on every fucking console across the planet. You know what I mean? It sold godly amount of units, and they'll continue to push it because people keep buying it. So they can take their time definitely with it. I see no problem, you know, with that, at least, despite the fact that it's a running joke now. But Crystal, what do you think? Are you bummed about this whole Grand Theft Auto 6 thing? Are you a Grand Theft Auto fan, or are you just kind of like, whatever?
Fuck yes. Love Grand Theft Auto 5. My little brother bought it for me, actually, for when I got married in 2015. He bought it for me, and I had taken a break. I'd probably skipped maybe 3 or 4 in the series, and I got so hooked. Trevor is like the crackhead that everybody craves. I love Rockstar, love Grand Theft Auto 5. I play it at least once a year. I feel like I'll be pushing 50 by the time 6 comes out, but I will be super happy to play it. Like I'm super happy to play it. I love the environments they create. I love the humor, and it'll be worth the wait. I'm totally fine with that, even if I'll be a grandma age. But
good. So you're a Grand Theft Auto person. That's awesome.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Even here, Wild Boy said right here, I played every GTA game ever made, and I've only beaten GTA 4. You know what, man? A lot of people don't end up beating the games either. I don't blame you, dude. You know, seriously. The one I did want to, Kev, I'm going to get to you. I played Chinatown Wars. I remember when it came to first initially, I think it was on one of Nintendo's handhelds. I can't remember, and then it came to either the Vita. I think it came to the Vita or one of or another handheld, or I don't remember. Chinatown Wars was pretty good. It was top down, but it had a really good story. It was a little bit different than before, so that one I actually did like a lot. But Kevin, where are you at with Grand Theft Auto 6?
I'm a Grand Theft Auto fan. I did beat 5. I did beat 4. I don't think I ever beat 3. And I played the first 2 on a Pentium fucking 75 back in God knows when. But I'm excited. They did get a lot of fucking shit for the working conditions and the crunch for Red Dead Redemption 2. So I'm not surprised that they're taking it a little slower. The running joke back then was if you go to the graveyards in Red Dead Redemption 2, they have the tombstones for all the devs that died.
That's so
during. Yeah, I know. It's pretty fucked up. But I'm sure they'll do a stellar job. I really hope they're taking the time to, the one thing that's bugged me is that it feels like the story and the world, right, and all that has progressed so much, but the mechanics of the movement is still they haven't done much since GTA 3 and GTA 4. So I hope they take that and just kind of modernize it a little bit. It sucks when you're trying to move around in like Red Dead Redemption 2, trying to pick up a fucking object and you just have to like circle it 17 times before you're in the right spot to pick it up, That quality of life shit like that would be nice. But otherwise, I really enjoyed GTA 5, and I went in there thinking I was just gonna, get a rocket launcher and get 5 stars and not do any of the story quests. And it amazed me at how much work they put into the story quests and all the different unique characters. So there's tons of rumors going around. I was reading up, about who was gonna star in it, and I've seen names like fucking Ryan Gosling and a bunch of other shit.
I mean, they can pay them.
It might be right. It might be.
Yeah, they can.
It might be really big. So we'll see. I'm excited. I know they'll pull off something pretty good. Even if I am going to be an old man by then, not quite as old as Crystal, but almost.
What's crazy is I've played that game at least once, sometimes twice a year since 2015. Never once played the online.
No way. Yeah.
I'm a weird gamer.
No, you're not a weird gamer. I
don't do the online.
I was never interested in the online portion. I'm not gonna lie to you. I even when I bought it, I never played the online portion. And then a couple of years ago, or maybe it was like early 2020, some of my buddies, they wanted to play it on the PS4 at the time. So I went and I bought a copy on the PS4. I loaded it in. We jumped into the online portion and we just kind of like fucked around for like an hour, and I'm like, this is fucking boring. I don't know, like, to me, I'm sorry, please, it's just my opinion, but it's not something that interests me. Really, I mean, so I don't blame you, honestly.
I'm glad I'm not alone, because I always feel like I'm like the only person that doesn't like.
I don't think you're the only person.
Brand crazy online shit.
I know. So I logged in there and I went to the fucking casino or whatever, and I'm like dicking around, and there's all these people like role playing and shit, and I'm like, this is not.
So how do they role play exactly? Like, what do they do? I'm just curious.
You're your character, right? And you're like, yo, what's up, baby B? You want to go rob a bank? And they're like, yeah, let's go rob a bank. And they do that shit, and they record themselves, and it's on Twitch, and I mean,
and they just randomly run into people and do this. This isn't like a coordinated thing?
Usually it's a coordinated group, but you know, they obviously interact with other people in the world, but they'll go do their little quests and their heists and shit, and people fucking love that shit. So you know, it became this whole like role playing MMO kind of spiel. You know, it's got a huge following. Same thing with Red Dead Online. I don't know, like those two games online just don't do it for me. I maybe it's just too open, not enough linear, you know, work to do. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I tried. It didn't grab me.
Yeah, that's really. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I'm not crazy about the gunplay for Rockstar either, so that might be a little bit of it. I don't know.
And there's a lot of that in the online. You know, it's like there's no story that keeps you kind of in there. So I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we'll see. GTA 6, 24 or 25 or whenever. We definitely have enough shit to keep us busy until then. So I don't think anybody's gonna be crying about it. Okay. Next thing is PlayStation Now. So PlayStation Now is a service that, believe it or not, does exist. It is there. It is very cheap. It's an excellent alternative to Game Pass. It's just not obviously pushed enough. It's not advertised enough. And for me personally, the biggest stumble that PlayStation Now has, in my opinion, is you can't download all of the games that it offers and play them natively off your console. I think if they were able to do that, and that's obviously because of the whole backwards compatibility thing that Sony has and has had a problem with, you know, in terms of the PS3, PS2, and PS1, you know, using emulation or whatever it is. But it's they have some excellent offerings, and for the price that you're paying, I mean, some people are getting PS Now for like $40 a month. What you can do though is you can download PS4 games to your console and play them. And what they did add now is some excellent options. They added Red Dead Redemption 2, Nioh 2, well, moving out, God of War, Judgment, Olympic Games Tokyo, and NASCAR Heat. These were all added within the past week. And I think this is actually great, man. If you really look at it, between like Nioh 2, God of War, Judgment, and Red Dead Redemption 2, those are some meaty games that they're adding, you know, to the service. And again, you can download these and you can install them and play them natively off of your console. Can you download everything? No. I wish you can, personally. I wish I could fucking download Resistance. You know, like, I mean, if Resistance was on there, I wish I could download it. And if they were able to do that with PS3 and PS2 games, I swear to God, I'd be all on it. But it's really interesting, too, because if you look at Matt Piscatella, who's like one of the analysts, but he's a business analyst of gaming. I think you guys have heard of him. He's very respected in the community. He's a proponent for PS Now, and he says, he's like, people really forget that there is a service that exists, and it is there. It is a competitor service. Only difference is it's just not out there. You know, like, I mean, it's not advertised. It's not pushed. There's no aggressive marketing behind it. So, and I don't know if Sony is going to get to that. I think if they decide to get in the same business as Microsoft, which I don't think they will. We've discussed this multiple times before. They both are, they're both successful in their own ways. They both do things in their own ways. And whether you like it or not, it works out for each and one for both of them. You don't have to be a fan of both of them. You can be a fan of whatever you want, but at the same time, it works. And it seems that Sony kind of like keeps it as a secondary thing, you know, like, oh, hey, by the way, this is here if you need it, right? This is kind of like the xCloud thing, you know, that Microsoft has with Game Pass Ultimate, right? Like I always felt like xCloud, like despite the fact that they've been doing amazing things with it from a technological perspective, xCloud still, like I mean, it's there. If you want to play it, it's there. Hey, it's part of your subscription, definitely. If you want it, yeah, go ahead. And while this is its own subscription, but still, it's kind of like a supplemental, to PS Plus or whatever it is that they have. So they're adding. I mean, they're still adding to it. From my perspective, I'm looking at it. I'm like, hey, man. Like, I mean, if you're adding big games like this takes obviously collaboration with Rockstar to bring your game. Despite the fact that remember, Red Dead Redemption 2 was also on Game Pass as well. So the fact that they're making these moves still and bringing these big games to the service still means that they're still heavily invested into the service. So what do you guys think? Crystal, are you a PS Now user? Do you have any experience with it? And what do you think about, this whole service thing, when you compare it to Game Pass?
I actually don't have PS Now, and I don't have Game Pass either, and that's not knocking it. I think they are phenomenal services for the niche market for that. I'm an individual that knows I have a limited amount of time to game, and I prioritize specific games that I know that I'm going to put. If I had more time to sit and play through a larger number of titles, I would be all over that shit so fast. So it's just, for me, I tend to buy games and replay them a little bit more, but I don't think that's really Sony's market. I think they really are kind of more of a narrative-driven single player. I think that's why everybody should just stop comparing them and get both systems, man. It's the best of both worlds. Like, they both are offering something fantastic and completely different. And in my opinion, they're not competitors with each other. They are two really different things, and they both give you so much value, and it's all about the games. Yeah,
no, absolutely. Well said. I mean, we keep preaching about that, all the time, but in one ear, out the other.
I'm pretty close to subbing to PS Now just to check it out. I don't think I might have done a trial like way back when, before they even allowed, downloading of the games, and it was just a streaming service. Because I thought that, I think they needed to rebrand like more heavily than they did. Because I think a lot of bad stigma was out because it used to be expensive. It used to be streaming only. And they didn't get the message out, I don't think, as hard as they probably could have. And maybe that's because they don't give a fuck. But I do see a lot of PS Now, users out there that are happy with their experience and happy that more games are coming to it. So if nothing else, we're getting more of these, meaty games in PS Now because of people wanting more out of the service. So that can't be bad. I mean, for the people that want it, I know that when on my PlayStation, like, I go in and I know what I'm going to play. I got Spider-Man, I got Ratchet and Clank, I got, whatever the fuck I have, I got a game, it goes in there on disc or download, and that's what I'm playing on my PlayStation. With the Xbox, I go in there and it's kind of like my chill station, I bring up party chat, I see who's on, I get on, I play, whatever the fuck they're playing, or we just sit online, shoot the shit, and play fucking Tetris while somebody else plays Doom and somebody else plays, whatever. So again, with like what Crystal said, the two consoles for me have two different, they fill two different things. And it doesn't mean one is better than the other. It might mean that in certain months one gets used more, and then in other months when a release comes, you won't see me on Xbox because I'll be on my PlayStation, fucking trying to platinum some game it'll never happen. Again, they just need to, if it's your thing, fucking subscribe. And I think you said $40 a month. It's probably $40 a year.
No, I said a year. I said a month.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
shit.
did.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, 40 a year. My bad.
Just to correct.
What the fuck
40 a year. I mean, I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, my bad.
40. I mean, for 40 a year, that's like fucking peanuts, dude. Like, I've gone on Starbucks runs that cost me more than that, and in a day. So, and that's just because I'm fucking dumb. But yeah, no, what a great value. I mean, why the fuck not? I think they're basically pitching it as the why the fuck not, here you go. And I wonder if they'll eventually just tie it all in, kind of like Game Pass Ultimate did, like PS Plus Ultimate, you'll get Now and PS Plus together for whatever. So who knows?
I mean,
I'm glad it's there.
realistically, you make a good point, because why can't they just look? If you buy right now, the retail price for PS Plus is $60 a year. Nobody gets it for $60 a year. I've gotten PS Plus for like 30 a year for years now, right? And I stack them. And then if you get PS Now, it's like $70 a year. But if you're talking about retail, they're both $120 a year, right?
Sure.
I think it's $60 a year for PS Now. Yep. So why not? Why can't they combine them both into like a $9.99 a month subscription,
or $12.99 or whatever?
Yeah, but here's the thing: if they do end up combining them, first, it's going to piss off people because everybody fucking gets pissed off about everything, and then two, in order to kind of like work them together, like you're saying, like a Game Pass Ultimate thing, you're going to have to actually give incentive. You're going to have to incentivize people to make that jump, to pay that to pay it. Like you can't bring God of War 3 years after it releases.
Sure,
like you can't. They're not going to do day and date. They're not going to. They've already established that. They're not going to do it. That's what they do. But to incentivize people, like you can't tell people like 3 years later. And again, I was just praising the fact that they brought it, but in order to do that, and we're obviously just speculating here, in order to do that, you have to incentivize people to do it. You can't just be like, hey, here's an extra $5 for something in case you decide to use it. So
right.
But
do they include movies? Because Sony has a huge, they're a massive production company.
They actually don't.
They canceled their movie
it.
service. Yeah. Yeah. They used to have PlayStation View, and they fucking put the kibosh on it like last year. So they don't want that shit either. I know, right? Wouldn't that be cool? A missed opportunity. Who knows though? They could.
I don't know, but
that's not saying that they can't roll it back in there.
Somebody needs to message Papa Ryan, Daddy Ryan, and let him know to hire Kevin for marketing, because we need the why the fuck not plan. I would subscribe.
Yes.
Why the fuck not?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Let's make everybody.
Why the fuck not? You want to look at that plan. You want to look at the price, and you just literally want to say, "Why the fuck not?"
Why the fuck not?
Yeah. There's no good reason. Just like Game Pass was like, "Why the fuck not?" It's $1 forever. So fuck it.
and some people do. Even here in the chat, some people have used it here. Mike, bless your heart, brother. You're still with us even when you're not with us. Mike used it he said he used it for Asura's Wrath and Metal Gear Solid, and Joe himself said, Joe has a PlayStation show, the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast, amazing show, by the way. So he is a very fair PlayStation fan, so he doesn't blow smoke up people's asses. And if he said, Joel, I'm gonna take your word for it, man. If you enjoyed it every now and then, and mind you, he didn't say like, hey, it's amazing, I play it all the time. So yeah, they do. It's definitely there. I think if they keep adding to it and incentivizing people to do it. The funny thing is, I want to leave this topic, but they fucking bought Gaikai a long time ago, right? You guys remember Gaikai was a streaming service. So they jumped on board with this whole streaming thing a long time ago. And at the same time, like, they haven't really done much to move it forward, since. Like, okay, so you were one of the first to invest into this, right? Because you saw something in the future regarding it. But at the same time, it kind of got stagnant.
It's just kind of confusing. Yeah, the play is kind of confusing. And I know their PC effort is kind of meh, because you can't download anything on the PC. And you just fucking stream shit, and I think it streams at like 720p, and that's just not how people want to play God of War. Yeah,
well, that's why. That's why I was saying, like, if they somehow figure out a way to make everything play natively, like Game Pass, where you just download it and play it from your console, that would be a good fucking move. That's a good start.
Is it worth it for them? Like, I
Right.
feel like they did try, but Microsoft fucking killed it with.
They're so far ahead. That's the problem.
The future of gaming in the Microsoft mindset.
They're so far ahead in that aspect.
The ROI just might not be there, honestly, and maybe they're just making this good enough, right?
Yeah.
Just good enough. And that's fine too. Fucking who knows what their profits are looking at. They might be looking at the surface and saying, nah, Daddy Ryan doesn't want this.
And I'm fine with that. Just give me the games. Man.
Exactly.
Give me the games.
No, I'm 100% with you. Honestly, you want the streaming shit, you want the all you can eat buffet, get yourself a fucking Xbox. get yourself Game Pass. Go for it.
Absolutely. All right. Now, on to one of the granddaddies of the day, the Nintendo
yes.
Switch OLED. The OLED model. Okay, so to retread a bit, throughout the past year, there's been a lot of talk about a Switch Pro, Nintendo Switch Pro, blah, 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 even coming from His Royal Highness Jason Schreier, who himself, him and Jeff Grubb, I think, they said that 4K edition, and you know, when you say 4K edition for Nintendo Switch, you still have to temper your expectations, considering its form factor and whatnot, even though they are pushing some crazy shit nowadays with technology. But still, they said it was 4K. Definitely, it's a beefier Switch. And a lot of people were just like, holy shit, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. So what ended up happening is earlier this week, Nintendo shows the Nintendo Switch OLED model is what it's called, because the naming is amazing. With this OLED model, it's basically a Switch refresh. It costs $50 more at $349.99. Launches October 8th. It's a 7-inch OLED screen. You know, for the people that made it sound revolutionary, 10 years ago, PlayStation put one in the PS Vita. Just saying. They increased their internal storage from 32 gigabytes to 64 gigabytes. Okay. They added a wired LAN port, which should have fucking been there as it was on the original Switch model, which was only Wi-Fi capable, or unless you bought an adapter for it. Enhanced audio and wide adjustable stand. And they also made it a point to say there is absolutely no changes to the internals on this machine. The Joy-Con are still the same. Everything inside is still the same. GPU, CPU, whatever it is. So if you guys were hoping at least for any improvements in the Joy-Con for those that were affected by the Joy-Con drift, no. But anyway, this caused a big thing, man. We all saw the memes. It was fucking amazing earlier in the week. God bless you, Nintendo. So a lot of people this was one of the first, honestly, and Crystal, you don't know me well enough yet, but once you do get to know me, you'll notice, you're like, I'm about as big of a degenerate as you can get. It does not take much to convince me to get anything, right? And this was one of the few times in my life when it came to gaming where I just looked and I'm like, wow, Nintendo really doesn't want me to fucking buy this, right? I have an Animal Crossing Switch. I have a Mario Switch, right? But for some reason, when I looked at this, it's just those I knew it was more like for aesthetics, right? I'm not going to use them. I knew I was going to display them whenever the fuck I end up getting like my own big space that I don't share with my kids. But when I looked at this, I was like, this is definitely not tailored for me, right? This is tailored for people who don't have a Switch yet. You know, an OLED screen compared to the shit that we have now is definitely a big improvement. But for me, I'm not a handheld player, right? Like, I mean, I used to take my handheld with me when I used to be like on call during residency. And even then I would use it for like a half hour, you know, a half hour max, a half hour to an hour if I had some time. But I've never been a handheld player. And so it's been docked for like 99.9% of the time since I got it. So I knew this wasn't for me. And then the $50 more that they're justifying with doubling the internal storage and the LAN port and the OLED. I think we've talked a lot about this, you know, Kevin and a lot of guys too, you know, in terms of, you know, what we think here. And I don't know if this is personally tailored for the people. Like, I don't feel like they gave much of an incentive for the current Switch owners to get another one. You know, unless you're like an absolute Nintendo slappy and you have to have everything that they make, good for you, good on you, you know, but they didn't give us that, you know, that I don't feel like they gave us that incentive to upgrade. It's not really an upgrade. It's a hardware refresh, but this is not what we were told. And I think that's why a lot of us felt like we were punched in the gut when they revealed this, because a lot of us were expecting something different. Are they still going to do it later on in the future? Maybe, you know, I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire. This is a refresh. Maybe next year they end up, because eventually the hardware, I feel like, does have to catch up, as you know, with the Series X and the PS5. There's a huge delta gap. There's a huge delta in power, you know, and I think in order to keep appealing, you know, especially to the third party developers, we're already starting to see some games that are streaming. Hitman 3, Assassin's Creed, and that's because obviously just the tech is just not there to support it. Granted, there are games that you can play on the Switch. I still don't know how or why. I don't know how or what kind of fuckery CD Projekt Red, what they did to put The Witcher 3 on the Switch. I think to me that's still one of the most impressive development stories I've ever seen. But they did it. So anyway, before I'm about to get to you, Crystal, but my point is like I don't know, man. I was just so fucking disappointed, honestly. Like I don't want to retread everybody and what they said, but I was obviously expecting more and we didn't get it. And I just honestly have no incentive to do this, especially because I'm not a handheld player. But what do you think about this? Are you a Switch user?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
We believe in multiple consoles. It's mostly my wife plays Nintendo, and I will admit it's because I like the advancements that I get, in FPS and in graphic fidelity, and Nintendo's they've never really matched that, but Nintendo has a niche marketplace, and I wonder the same thing myself, Mo. Are they ever going to catch up? Or are they just going to be Nintendo who's going to continue to make sales? Definitely not enough for me to upgrade or to add a second Switch. We enjoy the portability. We like to take it to people's houses. The Switch is great to take to somebody's house and dock and play games. Definitely not enough for me to make the investment in. I don't really listen to a lot of insiders per se. I don't, unless a company says this is what I'm going to do. I don't really know. But I can understand why people who love gaming and love hardware and have a Switch kind of went, well, what the fuck? This isn't. I don't think they made this for us to upgrade. I really think. I really think it's for new people who Switches are expensive. Nintendos are fucking expensive for the hardware they deliver. I think they did this for new people. I mean, COVID grew gaming. So I think they did this for new people. And I think there are some heavy Nintendo heads that are going to say, oh yeah, I'm going to fucking buy a second one just for this.
And really to piggyback off of what you said, it really seems like, I mean, this was discussed on Season Gaming on Saturday, our buddies there, and they were talking about, I think for us, like for our generations, the ones who grew up playing Nintendo and whatnot, we've got to come to a point where we have to realize that maybe Nintendo is just not tailored for our generation. And I don't think they are, and I don't think they care, right? You want power, you want speed, you want all that shit. There's the PS5 and there's the Series X. And I think they know that. And I think they've been so successful. I'm nobody to sit here and tell them how to do things. I mean, clearly they know what they're doing. But I think from our perspective, and I think because of our disappointment, right? Because we're fans of Nintendo. I fucking love Metroid. Metroid is one of my favorite IPs. Like everyone knows that. And for me, just to see, my disappointment with Metroid is like almost there with Splinter Cell. When the fuck are they going to give me a new Metroid? Give me a remaster. Give me something, So maybe they just don't care, and I think I've come to realize that, especially like with this refresh. I think we were disappointed because Sony and Microsoft set that trend with the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, right? Like those were proper mid-generation refreshes. They weren't even refreshes. This is more of like a Xbox One S, from like the VCR to the smaller One S, or from the PS4 to the PS4 Slim, right? They didn't boost it. They didn't do anything. And I think our expectations were higher because of those trends that Sony and Xbox set. And that's why we were disappointed. And if it doesn't come, I'm just not expecting it to come anymore. And I don't really give a fuck. But
that's a good point. I think we did get accustomed to that, but Nintendo is not. So Nintendo was the original trailblazer. Like they kind of made video games what they are. They opened the door for it.
But are they now? Are they? Be honest. Are they still trailblazer? Are they still a trailblazer?
No. Okay. For me, no. But I think for some people, that's family oriented with kids. I wasn't crazy about motion controls with the Wii, but it sold so. I mean, it was hard to get, and so the Switch just sells and sells in these games. Nintendo can take the same. It's like Grand Theft Auto 5 all the time. They can take the same game and just report it. So even if it isn't for a lot of us and a lot of our communities, there's so many family groups that it obviously works for because it's fucking selling. This thing is going to sell. That's what drives me nuts. This thing is going to fucking sell out so fast.
Yeah, it is. It is. Kevin, where are you at with this, brother? I know you got a lot to say, my man.
I do. You know, it's disappointing, but I want to touch on that first. Yes, we did get used to these mid-gen refreshes, but we also, you know, took the word of these people, right, and got excited. And Nintendo never said a fucking word, right? I mean, Nintendo was tight-lipped, didn't say shit, and basically shadow dropped this thing on us. So really, I mean, that's on us for getting excited for some sort of 4K Super Nintendo, which is what they should call it. Super Switch.
Super Switch.
But yeah, I should have gone into marketing. But you know, I want a Switch that I can actually play other multiplats on. Like that would be fantastic, and that would make it more of a console that I'd use. Because in between the, you know, the holy trinity of their library, there's other shit I want to play. And it would be really nice to get this all wrapped up, have them in an ecosystem where, you know, this would be viable. You know, I tell people all the time, like, Diablo 3 is what I play most on my Switch. And
That's
it
crazy,
runs great.
man.
And it's nice because it is a multiplat, and it's something that it isn't Mario, right? It isn't Donkey Kong. It isn't Super Smash Brothers. It isn't something like that. I got to be in a mood to play those. And I feel like they're just missing out on a market. But the OLED screen for $50 more, like you guys said, this is for new people that don't have a Switch or want an additional Switch. This can't be considered an upgrade. It's just not, that's all you're getting. You're getting like 0.6 inches of and that may be important in some spaces, but in this case I don't think anybody's gonna notice it. I mean, it's sad, right? I mean, we got a LAN port, okay, cool, and we got twice the memory at 64 gigs. Holy shit, that's like 3 games. You know, I don't understand their logic behind any of this, aside from it just being a refresh and charging more, though, right? And that makes me wonder, like, how does this happen? I don't know. Like, it's just odd. I feel like they should have just phased out the other one, made this one $299, and been done with it. It's weird. It's a weird thing to do. The hardware is identical. They had these chips in a warehouse, stuck them to the back of a newer screen, and we're done with it. Because there's a chip shortage right now, right? So I mean, they didn't have new chips, maybe, and they just decided to fucking do that. I guess that was it.
And the battery life is the same.
Everything's the same. It's just the fucking screen and the dock, right? So I mean, they already increased the battery life once, right, with the refresh. Yeah. The Switch is a good console for what it is. I want Nintendo to do more. I want them to be better. I don't know what it'll take or when it'll happen. But yeah, I'm not even sure this LAN port is a gigabit port. I can't find any information on that. But it's probably like 10100. You know, it's just odd. I have so much to say, but it's all just bad. And I wish I could use my Switch more. And it's not fun. And I hate to say that, because in the portable mode, it's at its most purest form, right? And for a normal size human, it's not comfortable. Not for extended periods of time, right? You got to buy some fucking grip and another adapter to put it on there. Then it's twice the fucking size, and then it might feel okay on the hands. Or you buy the very good Pro controller, right? But then you're probably gonna play it docked, which is gonna look like shit on your 4K screen, and it's just not good. So I don't know, man. I have it. It sits there. I do take it with me when I travel. And I just want more from them, and I think a lot of people would like more from Nintendo. And I guess this is kind of, I think it's more of the hyperbole because everybody wants more from them, right? Because I think people are looking at how stagnant they've been. With their online, with their hardware, right? And it's all just kind of fucking right in your face. Like, here you go. And the OLED model, like you said, the name, I was joking around about this, but this is as ingenious as when they named Hot Pockets, right? I mean, it's the same dude. They brought him out of retirement and put him in a market, right? And we're like, well, what do you call this? It's a Switch and it has an OLED. Well, let's call it the Switch OLED model. Like, what? I thought that was just like a subtext or some shit. That's actually the fucking name in the what? Oh my god!
You know what though?
Yeah.
This really goes along with what we've talked about from before. About one time, I think a couple times we talked about, can we see Nintendo ever moving past the Switch? Like, we're at a point now where the Switch is synonymous with Nintendo. Right. So will they ever move past it and develop something, or will they just keep iterating on this over and over and over? I don't know. You know, I mean, because obviously, yeah, they've always developed new consoles or whatnot, but I mean, this is just literally, this is lightning in a bottle. You know, I mean, they've had lightnings and they've had lightning in a bottle before, but this is unbelievable. The level of success we're seeing with this now, especially with how profitable it's making them, it's amazing. You know,
and not enough credit is given to them in terms, like, I make fun of Nintendo, but they had the Wii, massively successful. Then they fucking got the Wii U just fucking failed.
It was terrible.
I mean, it was fucking terrible. But they took a risk with the Wii, and then they took a risk with the Wii U, and they bounced back. I mean, that's huge. They could have gone Sega, you know, they could have bombed, and they didn't. And props to them. I mean, that's amazing. And their shit sells. And that's also amazing. I just don't know how they do it. Is it going to run out? Lady, touched on this when she was on the show. I think it will eventually come to a head. I don't know. Like, they need something more. And it's all half-assed, mediocre shit.
But here's the thing. That kind of feeds the point that I was making earlier. We are saying this as hardcore gamers. We're not the type that maybe we just have to come to the realization we're not the market anymore. We want to be the market, but we're not the market. Max here makes a good point too. He says market segmentation. Why get into the fray with Microsoft and Sony when they can pursue a different strategy? Others have struggled with handheld gaming while Nintendo has excelled in that space. Yeah, absolutely. And you're right.
My neighbor is a little bit older than me and plays they have 2 or 3 Nintendo Switches in their household. I mean, they play that as much as I play these next-gen systems. They've never owned next-gen systems.
That boggles my mind.
But it's just, there's a niche audience for it. They love
That's who they want, man. That's who they want.
They want the people in their commercials. That's who they're pitching to, and that's not us. Like, I don't know, man. I have bad eyesight, but that shit looks like garbage on my TV.
It is rough.
I don't want that.
Yeah, but which is why we are no longer the market for it. They just don't fucking care,
man.
Dude,
I'm
telling
a fucking
you,
boomer. That's what
we are.
To.
Like when the Switch came out, when the Switch came out, my wife's younger sisters, they came over a couple times and then they saw it and they're like, "Ooh, is that the Nintendo Switch?" Like, nobody fucking comes over and says, "Hey, is that the Series X? Hey, is that the PlayStation 5? Obviously they're popular, but still, like, it's just, it seems like it's become so mainstream now, and we are just not their market. We're not their market,
It's true.
It's sad to say it, but we're not their market, and but we're still going to continue to buy their shit.
I did have an internet tech. I live in the boondocks where nothing but fucking cows live, and the internet's awful. And I had a tech guy out the other day, and then he's like, "Is that a PlayStation 5?" And I'm like, "Yes, the fuck it is. Would you like to buy it?" Like, I'm so, like, when somebody recognizes my gaming shit, I'm so excited.
Isn't it awesome?
If somebody in Walmart's wearing a gaming T-shirt, and like I'm wearing one, I'm like, "Bro, I love your shirt. Like, I want to stop." And just, like, that's the thing, man.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. And Sarko makes a good point here too. So Nintendo's like Disney and Starbucks now. Fuck you, you'll pay us.
But it's true. Sarko is not wrong. I mean, people love Nintendo, and I just do. they're gonna buy the shit out of this new OLED. There's obviously a market for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'll end it with Mr. Badbit. Fuck Nintendo. So there, I said it. I think he echoes a lot of us. a lot of the old
Can't get over the
farts.
Hot Pockets comment. The Hot Pockets comment. I'm still holding back, laughing so hard from the hot. I mean, I'm gonna think about that rolling around in my sleep.
So hold on, hey, this is actually a good point. So the guy, so someone that says, "Is that a PS5?" Have you ever had anybody say, "Yo, is that thing fucking huge?" about the PS5?
No, I think about it being huge. It was so big. I had to go buy, like, I had to run to Walmart and buy a table for it. Like, I have a 20 consoles. It's like my 16th console, but I'm like, where the fuck am I going to put this? I can't stand it up because I have kittens and kittens are assholes. It's like, I have to buy new furniture because this thing's 400 pounds.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
You got to orient the room around the PS5. Yeah.
Joe said it. Yo, I saw someone say, "Yo, is that a PS5? It's fucking huge."
My neighbor said it's thick. They're like, "Oh, she's thick." So we've been joking around and saying she's thick. She's a thick.
Damn, that girl's thick.
Yeah, she's
I like it.
thick,
I like it.
baby.
That's fucking huge, man.
It is.
It's fucking big.
It is big.
Said,
I remember Dash here in the Dash. He's with us here in the chat when he first got his PS5. He's like, see, I put the Series X. He's like, it kind of like flow. He put the PS5 first, right? And then he wanted to put the Series X, but he said something about his wife might kill him if he ends up putting both. He said, he's like,
sun and
no,
shit.
me and him had that conversation. He's like, it's easier to sell the Series X on top of a shelf, because
It is,
you don't
yeah.
see something that looks like this. I personally love the way they both look. I have no problem with it. But I've seen a lot of the conversations about the aesthetics of both of them. I think it's fucking hilarious.
I hate it horizontal. I don't like it as
No,
much.
you
The
can't.
only way I can fit mine is horizontal
do-
right
you
now.
are-
Me too. And
you
I
are
don't trust my kittens, but I'm
Yeah.
so upset. It's so fucking beautiful vertical.
See, you have a reason to put it horizontal, but I think anyone that does put it horizontal intentionally is a hellspawn.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Something's wrong with you.
yeah, definitely, absolutely. And then Diego here says you have to reinforce your foundation when you get a
Yes.
PS5. You're absolutely fucking right, man.
I had to get a contractor.
Oh shit! What about Oh yeah, hey! What about the upside down commercial? Yes,
That was pretty good.
Yes.
That was pretty good.
yes. Everyone's on
Again, Sony, just hire me, okay? I know the orientations. Let's go.
Kevin, you've been kidding. Nintendo might want to hire you too. They could sell.
I know. I can contract out to everybody. It's fine. I can be a whore. It's okay.
I love you.
Diego, because Diego said it. Diego, you're a fucking graphics designer, man. Sony should just hit you up. This is just some bullshit, man. I don't know what the hell's going on. Upside down console, ridiculous.
That was hilarious.
Smoking over.
It won't even work.
Awesome.
The disc won't. I don't even think it works if you put the disc in that way.
It was awesome, and on top of that too, he was holding the, and he was the guy in the ad. He made it look like he was playing, but it was during like the cutscene where Kratos and Atreus run into Jormungandr.
Really into it.
And I'm like, that's a cutscene. He's not playing. This is bullshit.
Okay, so wait, is that worse, or the guy that couldn't figure out how to put the stand on the horizontal PS5 worse?
I mean,
It's not that hard. I mean, Jesus, people. Fuck.
once you know the direction of how you're supposed to put the game, yeah, I don't know. But you know what? No, look, it needs a redesign. Let's not fucking let's not kid each other. It does.
It needs to be
even Joe here, man. Again, Joe, big PlayStation guy. He loves. Yeah, like I agree, man. It needs a fucking redesign.
Mhm.
It does.
PS5
I think
too big, or
personally, yeah. First of all, I mean, look. I mean, the Series X is not small, right? But when you look behind me, if you look at, that's a significant height difference, between them. Now, granted, one is a lot more modular, than the other, but I think in terms of even the, the way that you add the memory expansion whenever the fuck that comes out, things like that. Yeah, I think they could definitely. I think there are definitely some things that they can improve on for sure. We're not talking about cooling or the specs themselves. I think they're amazing. They did a great job with the specs and the cooling and everything inside. But to make it a little bit more user friendly, Is what I is.
Yeah, it's a little weird. It's a little weird.
Yeah, it's just
I
awkward.
mean, the X
Yeah.
is the refrigerator design is
Right.
not bad, and it's really good for cooling.
It's just
so-
a fucking
Yeah.
monolith, man. It's literally
Yeah,
like
it's
a
just a
fucking
box.
monolith that sits there. Yeah,
Yeah.
it passes as a
It-
fucking speaker.
Two completely different ends of the spectrum, right? I mean, one was like, let's make this look like a fucking spaceship, and one's like, hey, it's a box. Is that good?
Wi-Fi router. It's a Wi-Fi router.
Right,
and
right. It could be
mini
anything.
fridge.
Trash can. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, people play around with designs all the time, but yeah, no. I honestly just think the size. The size is my biggest complaint. It's just it's really too tall when it's standing up, and it's really fat, right? So just shrink it down on those dimensions. Even if you kept that same, shape, just if it was 4 inches, you know, I don't know.
I'm sure they will.
What do I know?
There's gonna
Oh,
be,
yeah. Yeah, there'll be a
there will be
redesign.
for sure.
I think
There
we're
will
going to
be
see
for sure.
several.
And just to address Wild Boy here, what's a disc? Yes, I do have the disc version. I am a physical game
I
collector.
too have the disc
too.
version.
Okay, fuck you, digital whores. All right, we old fucks are going to stay with the physical editions
Can we
until
just
they
take
stop.
Can we just take a minute to talk about when you bring the disc home and you hear the of the cellophane?
See, they don't get it. They don't get it.
You
They act,
open it and
they act like they're
there's
too
a
cool for that shit.
smell.
yeah,
There's a smell.
they act like they're too cool for that shit.
Or,
Like, I mean,
or you go to GameStop and they already opened it for you and completely ruined it. So, there's that. There's that.
oh
too.
yeah. Oh no, that shit ain't happen. Physical game collecting. Oh yeah, absolutely. You know what? And here's fucking Bad Bit again with his takes today.
Discless.
PS5
Yeah.
discless for the
Mr.
one.
Bad Take.
Yeah. They do call you Bad Take for a reason, Joe.
Yeah,
I'm
they
sorry.
do.
Oh, that's a good
Buying games in your underwear is the biggest dub. You know what, man? He's right. He is right. He's definitely right. That was a good.
Did
that
you
was
see
a good-
Diego? Too tall, fat, and 4 inches. I described him just right.
Oh shit, man! This is fucking.
I love
cool.
it.
Uh,
The
that's
All
fan
right.
base has fantastic. These fucking comments are gold.
Oh yeah.
right?
Oh,
I know
yeah.
we do have like the best chat, and I cultivate these users one by one. I make sure that they're assholes, and I bring them all in. And
Yeah, it's like a slow.
fantastic.
It's been a slow indoctrination ever since he
Is
joined
that
the
why I
show.
was recruited? I have the. Is that why I was recruited? I have the asshole gene because it is true. A little
A little bit.
Excellent. Excellent. You fit right in.
perfect.
Fit right in. All right. Ubisoft. Okay. So apparently Ubisoft, at first it was leaked and then Ubisoft made the announcement right away. It was leaked by Bloomberg. So Ubisoft plans an Assassin's Creed live online game service. It's basically, they're calling it Assassin's Creed Infinity. It's to simulate the prolonged financial success of GTA 5 or Fortnite. Without getting into details, what they are saying is it's going to be a platform, and to that platform they will continue to build onto the Assassin's Creed games or franchise or the IPs. For consistency purposes, they're relegating it to Ubisoft Montreal and Ubisoft Quebec, because every Assassin's Creed game is made by a different one, by a different studio. And I think for the purposes again of consistency and to have the same developers on it who can nourish it better and just make it grow better, I think at least well they even said grow, evolve, and define the overall future of Assassin's Creed. I think it's a good idea to keep it locked to those two developers at least. The other thing too is the heads that they're putting on there. One of them is Clint Hawking. He's going to be one of the creative directors on Assassin's Creed Infinity. If you don't know who Clint Hawking is, Clint Hawking was one of the responsible people for Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, Far Cry 2, and Watch Dogs Legion. So that's a hell of a fucking resume on him. And just with Splinter Cell and Chaos Theory alone, to me, that's enough. So I looked at this, I am basically a hater of the new Assassin's Creed formula. I don't keep it a secret. I don't like it. I think it's gotten far away from what it is and what really made the franchise what it was. And the franchise itself was about the Creed, the Assassin's Creed. You know, it was a story of revenge. It was a story about, you know, the Creed being bigger than what you are. And it was a story of, you know, just self-exploration, you know, like I always link everything. My example will always be Ezio. Ezio is still to this day one of my favorite characters in gaming ever. And just his story itself of what happens with his family and how he sets off on this journey and how he discovers that his goal and what he wanted to achieve is so much bigger than his selfish purposes initially. You see him turn from like some fucking spoiled little punk to what he became, you know, and I think that's amazing. And them linking it with the modern day stuff, there was a sense of mysteriousness and there was a sense of there was this aura around the Creed itself that's gone now, and it's been replaced by, you know, I always say this. I always say this. It used to be a game and the map was built around it, and now the new ones are there's the map and the game is built around it. That's how they do it now. They make the maps and then they're like, how do we build a game around this map? You know, instead of the way that it used to be. The whole point in saying this is I think doing this itself is good because basically what a lot of people are thinking now is they'll be able to bring in a lot of smaller projects, you know, instead of like one massive project every couple of years, you know, the way that we've been seeing with Odyssey and Valhalla and Origins, and bringing all of these smaller games together. And I think this is something that may work for them, because look what they've been doing with Valhalla. They're going to support it for 2 years, right? Or at least like for at least 1 year with DLC and whatnot. And a lot of people were like, oh, this is a live service game now. Well, Valhalla is a live service game. Live service games, guys, does not have to be multiplayer. You don't have to shoot like Destiny in order to consider something a live service game. So technically speaking, Assassin's Creed has already been a live service game, and they've been seeing its success, especially with the DLC additions to Valhalla. All these little additions that they've been making, the smaller stories and whatnot, like the one in France, and I forgot the Beowulf. No, actually, I don't fucking know. I stopped playing Valhalla a long time ago. But what I know is all these smaller additions have become successful for them, and I think they're realizing that by doing something like that, instead of just maybe as successful as the new formulas are, maybe they're also feeling like they're kind of getting stale in a sense as well. You know, because despite how successful they are, there are a lot of people out there that are still complaining about the games themselves. You know, it's just they're big RPGs with the Assassin's Creed name slapped on it. That's how I feel. You know, so I don't know. You know, we're obviously going to watch it and see what they do with it. I really don't know how else they're going to be. I'm just happy that at least it's going to be some sort of platform. I think it's interesting that they're going this route, kind of like Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite is going to be a platform, and throughout a decade, their plan is for a decade to add on to this platform. You know, so Halo Infinite will continue to grow, and I think Assassin's Creed Infinity is going to continue to grow. You know, instead of doing like Assassin's Creed 6, Assassin's Creed 7, Assassin's Creed White Flag, whatever the fuck they're going to call it. So I think that's interesting. Crystal, are you an Assassin's Creed fan, and what do you think about this?
I'm hit or miss with Assassin's Creed. I don't think the new Assassin's Creed really is an Assassin's Creed. It's an action adventure game with some RPG elements with Assassin's Creed tied to it. Mm-hmm. Ubisoft has been very hit or miss for me for a handful of years now. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people want to take a shit on them. I'm not going to do that. Give me more games, more opportunities. I'm happy to consider it and give it a try. I think it's neat that they're going to do something different. A lot of what you said, I feel the same way about. I mean, give me games, do something different. Hopefully it hits with me. If it doesn't, I'm happy for all the people it hits for. These new Assassin's Creeds have sold. Valhalla was fucking huge. I actually loved Odyssey. I loved Cassandra. Origins was pretty good. I mean, they're selling, so give the people what they want. If it resonates with me, I'll be fair and I'll give it a try. And if it doesn't, that's okay. I'm really happy for the people that like the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Kevin, what do you think about this whole Assassin's Creed Infinity platform thing?
So, you know, at first I was thinking, God, this sounds terrible. But maybe it won't be terrible, because I mean, it might be good. I just it's Ubisoft, Ubisoft, and
Ubi.
you know, they they've disappointed me the last several years, and you know, even though Valhalla did well and the DLCs do well, it's so far from, you know, I was actually just playing Assassin's Creed 1 the other night, and it's just so far from that. Like, the narratives don't grab me. I feel like it's a different title, and they're using Assassin's Creed like fucking they use Cloverfield, right, for everything. And it's just not the same. It doesn't resonate with me. Just because you kill people, that doesn't make you an assassin. You know, like assassin Vikings. That's not the word that I think of after I say assassin, right? But this, and you know, Watchdog Legion is okay. They came out with an online mode for that too, and people are liking that. So maybe they'll do something different here. I don't know. I'm sure it's years out. I kind of skimmed through that article. But it's like 50-50 for me. Like, it could be good, but it could be just a fucking shit show like GTA Online, right? That I won't have any interest in, that won't appeal to lots of people that want, you know, kind of a narrative-driven story. And that's going to be chock full of fucking microtransactions and fucking passes for this and passes for that and whatever. So, you know, I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna hold on and see what they're going for, because I know that they're going for where the money is, right? I mean, they've made that clear. Whether or not that aligns with an actual good product, we'll see. So whatevs. I mean, it's Ubisoft, and the last game I liked from, honestly, was the original Division, and then meh. Then I've been since then.
It has been rough. It's been, I mean, Ubisoft went from like the Rainbow Six Vegas 2 days for a handful of years was so good, and then
they've had a couple of, you know, okay games. You know, people love Phoenix Immortals, Phoenix Rising.
Good one.
I mean, people really like that one. But yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like they're trying to find, you know, themselves there, trying to figure out where they're gonna go and how they're gonna make money, but you know, also keep their legacy alive, I guess, you know, because they do have a legacy. I mean, they've done some good work in the past. The Ubisoft of today is not what I remember it as, you know, 10 years ago.
That's
even
so
10
good.
years ago, yeah.
And even
It's completely different.
even Elu, man, Elu here, our brother Elu, he loves the new games, by the way, you know, but still, like, he's an Assassin's Creed purist. I mean, he says, he's like, I'd love to see that. I miss the modern heart of it regarding the story. It was going somewhere, and then they botched it all up. And that's really part of what we're talking about, you know, like, I mean, it's kind of like fragmented. And honestly, like, even though I remember a lot of people didn't care more, you know, about the modern stuff compared to the historical stuff, but still, the modern stuff was at least interesting. Desmond's story started getting interesting, you know, especially after the first one, you know, and how and what happens with him and whatnot. And I just feel like even with the modern stuff, they haven't done enough to make us care about those characters anymore. So, yeah. And here, bad bit too. Valhalla could kick rocks. I agree, my friend. Yes, and Assassin's Creed 2 is the best. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Assassin's Creed 2. Crystal, what's your favorite Assassin's Creed, by the way?
I'm going to be honest. I fucking love Odyssey. And
Really?
I know it's not very Assassin's Creedy.
Yeah. That's fair, though. That's a lot of people will agree with you.
I think it was a great action adventure game. I don't even think it should have been an Assassin's Creed game. The goat scene with there's another goat with Alcibiades, like fucking kill. I like the humor in it. I loved Atlantis. Mostly it's because Greece. I actually love Greece, and it's been probably between that or maybe the second one. It's very hard for me to pick a favorite, and they're two really different Assassin's Creed games. I know. So I guess if we're going real Assassin's Creed, number 2, but like the newer ones, Odyssey, I liked much better than Origins and Valhalla.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Again, a lot of people agree with you. Even Bad Bit here in the chat agrees with you. Game Positive, my brother. He said, if AC is a platform now and commits to big expanding open worlds, I wonder if that opens the door to a more wide linear, like AC 1-2 Prince of Persia games. Dude, this is exactly what I am hoping for. And these are the types of additions that I'm hoping for.
Did you know Assassin's Creed became Assassin's Creed because of Prince? It's so interesting that he says that, because that really is the root there.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah. So... And then what did Diego here say? Is the best Assassin's Creed a hot topic like the best Mass Effect? That's a good question, man. Honestly, yeah. I think if you ask people, a lot of people they'll probably have different. Again, because it's all a matter of, obviously, as with everything, it's a matter of taste. But first you have to establish whether the person you're asking likes the new games or likes the old games more. And if they like the old games more, odds are they're probably going to like one of the older ones more. Like if you ask me, for instance, I'm a fucking curmudgeon. So I'm always going to tell you Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood. Those are tops for me.
Did you like any of the newer ones? Like from Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla?
So here's what happened with me. Like I loved Syndicate. I love Syndicate. I think it's very underappreciated. Not underrated, underappreciated. I thought it was great. I think Evie Fry is probably my second favorite protagonist in Assassin's Creed after Ezio. She was such a fucking badass. I loved her wit, I loved her sarcasm, and I loved everything about her in the story because her brother was just a fucking dumbass. So she really took the mantle in that story. And I think just in the Industrial Revolution in England, I thought that was just a fantastic storyline, but wasn't appreciated much. And they did do things with it there too, especially with the grapple hook, because they tried to improve on the parkour. We were also talking about this on Saturday as well. Right now, even the parkour itself in the older games, it used to be kind of a challenge, right? Like there was some sort of puzzle to it where you have to figure out how to climb things. Now it's just, hey, climb anywhere, go anywhere, right? And obviously you have to do that because if you have all of these big fucking vistas and landscapes that you can climb, especially mountains and whatever, you can't have people trying to figure out how to do it. It makes more sense in the architecture of the older games. And that's also kind of missing too. A lot of people are kind of like, well, parkour just kind of took a back seat. Parkour used to be huge in Assassin's Creed, and it's no longer like a main selling point anymore. So anyway, yeah. I don't know why the fuck I just brought in parkour, but I thought Unity was good and the French Revolution. I thought that was a good story as well. Now, if I have to get to your question about the new ones, I liked Origins. Okay, I liked Origins for up until the 60-hour mark, and then I realized it still had the bottom half of the map to go through. And that's obviously my fault because I am a completionist. I don't like achievements or platinums or anything like that. It's not what I was going for. But the thing is that's really when I realized I'm like, these fucking maps are made to keep you as busy as possible. They don't really push you forward. They don't help push the narrative forward. And that's one thing that I did not like. It's cool for people who like that play style. There are people who just want to go get lost in the world and whatever. Yeah, that's awesome. But that's when I really realized that these games are just made to keep you busy, right? A lot of the side shit that you do are not really meaningful. They don't really add much to they don't really add much to the narrative. They don't really add much to the story and to the character development and whatnot. And that's really where I kind of just started tapering off. I'll be honest with you, Odyssey, I played it for an hour.
It's a ton of fetch quests. They're entirely too big and it's boring fetch quests. You're not wrong. That's totally.
I know. I played Odyssey for an hour. I played Valhalla for 6 hours. And even then, even after 6 hours with Valhalla, I was like, all right, fuck this shit. Yeah. I'm done. Yeah. We'll be definitely watching this closely. I'm hoping they change it up a little bit and try to satisfy at least both camps of old and new. So we'll see. Okay. Next thing I wanted to bring up was FPS Boost. FPS Boost is still the gift that keeps on delivering when it comes to Xbox, and they brought in now Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3. I'm gonna get to if you're a Souls player or not, Crystal, but a lot of people were happy about this, about the fact that Dark Souls 3 is now FPS boosted. I know I have a lot of friends, including here in the chat, that are big Soulsborne players, and the thing about the thing about Dark Souls 3 is now it's boosted, but it still retains the 900p resolution from the Xbox One version, which kind of sucks, to be honest with you. That's like the one thing that you can't have everything, and I understand. You know, I mean, it's a fucking first world problem. I sound like a little bitch, you know, who's entitled, but but still, like for instance, like, and then there's people that are playing it on PS5 because it was already it took the PS4 Pro version, which was 1080p. And then they moved it over to the PS5, and you can play that in 60 FPS. Point is it's awesome. It's great for I felt like this was something that should be mentioned and should be celebrated if they continue to go down this route. But are you a Souls player, Crystal? Do you have the patience for it?
No, but we've done a lot of shows on my podcast about this, and I will be playing Elden Ring. I've committed to the guys that I'll be doing it. But I'm a huge fan of improvements. Improve the game. FPS boosts, fucking awesome. Graphic fidelity improvements. One or the other, both. If you improve a game, I think that's absolutely fantastic. I love what Xbox is doing. In my opinion, I think they're doing it better.
Yeah, of course.
What PlayStation is doing is by giving all of those boosts, even with the Series S, you're not getting as much graphic fidelity, but the FPS, I think it's fucking awesome. And any improvements, I think, are fantastic. And
absolutely. Yeah, that's well said. Any improvement is a fucking welcome improvement. Honestly, that's well said. Kevin, FPS boost, man. What do you think about Dark Souls 3 coming up? I have one more thing to say. I'm going to wait until
does it make it easier? Because
absolutely
otherwise,
it makes it easier it makes your combat more smoother.
All right, because yeah, no, I'm too fucking shitty to play those games. I don't have the patience for it. I tried, man. I loaded up Bloodborne the other day, and because I'm like, oh, maybe I should pick up the new Demon Souls. Well, I'm glad I saved myself the $70 because I played like fucking 2 hours of Bloodborne, got absolutely nowhere, and just said fuck it and uninstalled it. The games are just designed not for me not to like them. And that's okay because I know people fucking love them, and I'm glad that it got an FPS boost. Breathing a little more life into it and hoping. I always love seeing these games kind of come back from the. I wouldn't say it was dead, but just come back into the public eye again, because then those fans come out, and those fans will lead to people saying, oh shit, people really still like this, and maybe that vision that somebody wants to make a new game, or they're unsure of releasing a new game like that, just cements it for them. I always think that might be it. But FPS boost is fantastic. I do wish that I think they have to tweak it for each and every title. It's unfortunate that not all of them can be boosted in resolution and frames and HDR, right? I mean, it'd be fantastic if they could. Be great. But people are fucking psyched, man. I saw it all over my timeline. Like all these people so excited to die over and over again in double the frame rate. And good for you. I mean, if that's your thing, die away, people. Like I don't know. Like it just launches me into a dark place, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I question everything when I play those games. I'm like, why am I playing? Why do I game? I should go read a book. Maybe I'll go walk my dog. Maybe gaming's not for me at all. Maybe I should just sit here and cut myself while playing this. I don't know. Like it's just fucked up. I don't enjoy those games. I've tried. Not for me. But yeah, have at it, people.
But the thing is too is another funny thing is this opened up another conversation, and that was about Bloodborne. I mean, and I know there's a lot of Bloodborne fans in here. Dash, Joe, Elu, a lot of guys in there that played Bloodborne, and it's again, like we're 6 years later, since Bloodborne released, and obviously we still have not gotten any type of boost or improvement or whatnot. And I think right now it's like a running joke. There's been a lot of rumors about maybe a remake or a remaster or whatever over the years and whatnot, but I don't necessarily think that it's going to get boosted for the PS5, and the reason why is because it was not boosted for the PS4 Pro. If there was a boost for the PS4 Pro for Bloodborne, I'd be probably a lot more confident that it would be just boosted. But I think 6 years later, I don't really think they're going to. And I think I'm more in the camp of, you know, I'm more in the camp of probably like a full-on remake. Even 6 years later, I think people would fucking eat that up. Director's cut, whatever the fuck it is, as long as it has Bloodborne attached on it, people are gonna eat it up and they're gonna buy it and they're gonna fucking love it. So I know Sony knows this. Okay, we can't be the only smart ones, you know, especially with everybody that talks about this. I know they know this, and I'm hoping at least that'll happen. Is that gonna make me is that going to change my mind about the fact that I suck in these games? Absolutely not, but I mean, I'd still be fucking happy. I'd still be happy if it came out. So yeah, see it here, man. Director's cut, baby. That's right. People would still buy it, Pampa. They would still buy it, man. And look, and bless his heart, Joe, he keeps a fucking count. 1,935 days since Bloodborne released.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive.
That is very impressive. That is very, very impressive. And no, Joe, I do not have a. Oh wait, shit! God damn it! Why the fuck did I click on Kevin's thing? I need Mike.
Hate on Kevin.
I know.
Sweet Kevin.
Joe, I wish I had an inside source, man. My fucking inside source is my 1.5-year-old son, dude. That's about as far as my fucking inside sources go. Okay, so yeah, Dark Souls 3, good shit. All right. Next thing is PlayStation State of Play. I'm going to go around and ask you guys what you guys thought of it. I think it was good that PlayStation, when they did drop the State of Play, they set the expectations early on. They said there was not going to be God of War. There was not going to be Horizon Zero Dawn, and they basically just let us know right away that, like, hey, this is going to be like a State of Play, not a State of Play, if that makes sense. So by setting those expectations early, and I think they tempered a lot of people's expectations too by doing that, and I thought it was the right move. Me personally, just looking at it, I'm going to just, I don't want to go through everything, but just what stood out to me, I thought it was cool that Moss 2 is announced. If you haven't played Moss on the PSVR, really one of the standouts on that platform. I thought it was great. Another one that stood out to me is that Fist game, man, with that fucking Rambo rabbit, that generated a lot of buzz after the show. So that's like a 2.5D type of game. It's fucking awesome. It's called the Fist, F-I-S-T. So that's coming on September 7th. And that's actually from the PlayStation China Hero project. And we've been seeing a lot of Chinese projects that have been coming out from there. Specifically, one of them that was shown, I think it was like a couple months ago. I forgot what the name of it was. But the PlayStation China Hero project it's an initiative that Sony made in China to help out these smaller developers kind of like bring their games up in front. For anybody that says, they hate indies, they don't like small developers, they do their part. So spare me the fucking bullshit. But anyway, so this is coming from there. I thought Sifu looks fucking awesome. I've been watching Sifu from day one. That's about that Kung Fu master, whatever it is. What I did like is how they introduced an aging aspect into it. How they would show him dying, or they would keep showing him like in his 30s, in his 40s, in his 50s. So I'm not sure how they're going to integrate that with the gameplay, but that's going to be cool. And then they obviously showed Demon's Souls. I'm sorry, not Demon's Souls. Death Stranding Director's Cut, which we already knew was coming, but they kind of like added a little bit more into it. They said fidelity mode is going to have native 4K, ultra-wide HDR support. There's going to be a performance mode, which is upscaled 4K, 60 FPS, DualSense haptics and adaptive triggers, near instant loading PS4 save transfers. They added new story missions, new battles, and then there's new additional delivery methods, and then they added like this fucking racing thing, this racing circuit that they did. I thought it was pretty fucking cool that they did this, and it seems like this is the version that Kojima wanted on the PS4, but probably just had to cut back. A lot of this shit, obviously, director's cut. It probably hit the cutting floor before release, and I'm a big fan of Death Stranding. I love it personally, So, and on top of that too, it's $10 to upgrade from the PS4 to PS5. But one thing that I thought was shitty, and Kevin and I talked about this. These editions are not going to be available on the PS4. Now, is it because of technological limitations? Probably not, but I think this was a way for them to incentivize you to get it on the PS5 because of all the additions. But because it's been so fucking cool now to shit on Sony for the last couple of weeks, I'm gonna fucking stop myself from doing that, and I'm not a fucking clout chaser. So I think $10 is fair, and I think it's cool. You know, I think $10 is a fair upgrade for PS4 to PS5 for it. And yeah, last thing is Deathloop. I thought it looks great. I'm very happy for Arcane. I'm buying it day one on the PS5. I love what they showed. I have an idea of what the game is. I still have no fucking clue of what it exactly is, but I honestly don't care. I know it's Arcane. I'm happy for them, and I hope you know, this game does well. One of the reasons I'm really happy for Arcane, you know, with this whole Bethesda Xbox acquisition, is because their games have been always underappreciated. And again, I'll say it, not underrated, underappreciated. You know, they haven't been played by as many people as they deserve to be played by. And I think this whole marriage with Game Pass is going to really work out in their favor, because a lot more people will be able to just see how wonderful this studio is. But yeah, Crystal, sorry, Iron Lungs. What did you think about the event?
Like you, I still have no fucking clue what Deathloop is about. I haven't been into shooters in a really long time, so I'm not sure, but every single person that I'm connected to on Twitter is going to get it. So if it looks cool, I'll pick it up. Kenna Bridge of Spirits looks really cool. I like those. I'm a big fan of indies. I think that indie developers set the pace for everything that AAA does that's brilliant. So I love to support indies. That one looks cool. I'm just going to be honest. I'm actually most excited about Death Stranding. I've never played that game before. I wrote that game off year after year after year, saying, I'm not going to like it. It's going to be boring. I maybe was a little myopic in that decision. I'm not a huge fan of any Metal Gear Solid. I've never been sold that Kojima is this brilliant guy. Mm-hmm. And I finally decided, you have to do it. You have to give this guy and his vision a fair chance. And I'm going all in on the director's cut of Death Stranding. And I'm going to beat it no matter what it takes. I'm completing that game, and I'm going into it with an open mind. I'm very cautious because hype ruins games. So I'm very careful about what I consume and how much. So I'm trying not to get too hyped, but I am fully committed to doing this Kojima experience in the Death Stranding way. Mm-hmm. That was my big takeaway, is I think I'm making the right decision here.
Yeah, no, definitely, for sure. Wild Boy, I appreciate you, man. This is why I miss Mike. I need to fucking change these goddamn bars, man. I'm sorry. Here we go. Thanks, Wild Boy. But yeah, I'll get to Death Stranding in a bit, because I wanted to answer another question Game Positive just mentioned. But Kevin, what do you think about the whole show, man?
I liked it. I didn't catch it live. I thought some of the games looked interesting. I like that indie shit. Like it's fun, right? And it's different. Mm-hmm. And I like seeing shit that I'm like, oh, that looks terrible. And then at the end, you're like, I'll play it. You know, and those are the ones where that I sometimes play and just love the shit out of them. So Fist stood out. The oh my God, the one with the Vikings teaming up. I forget what that was called. Like top down. That one looked really nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Moss looked awesome. I have not played the original.
Tribes of Midgard.
Yes, Tribes of Midgard. Mm-hmm. That one looked cool. Obviously, Sifu, which was delayed till 2022, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
I'm really excited that the animation on that looks dope. Mm-hmm. Looks like some shit out of like Hard Boiled or some. I'm digging that. And then, of course, like the 20 minutes of Deathloop, which finally convinced me that it might be a game I want to play. Like Crystal said, I still don't know what the fuck's going on, but it's very arcane-y, right? You can tell it's got that Dishonored feel to it, and I really did like Dishonored. I didn't like Prey too much, and I know I get crap on that all the time, but I like Dishonored 1, I like Dishonored 2. Mm-hmm. So I think this might hit that itch that I've had for a game like that, and with the PS5 and the DualSense, and nice graphics, and yeah, I'm gonna get it. We're
suckers, dude. Yeah, fuck yeah, we're gonna. Yeah.
It's gonna fucking happen. But I know some people were disappointed with the state of play. Again, I don't know what they expected. I think Sony came out and just was like, "Hey, you're not gonna get God of War. You're not gonna get Horizon." So they gave him some new IPs, right? I mean, what the fuck do people want?
There's never any satisfaction, man. But we are
No.
satisfied right now because my fucking son just joined us.
Oh,
Coming in at the end, the finisher.
Oh man,
Fashionably late as ever.
Nice,
Crystal,
man.
Jordan, Crystal.
Crystal,
Jordan.
nice to meet you. I'm sorry I'm late.
shit happens.
That's right. Well, this was good shit, though. I can tell you that. But are these guys keeping you good company?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
fit right
okay.
in.
Oh yeah, she
Good,
fits, man.
good.
She fits,
Mhm.
she fits like a glove,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
That's
we like her.
awesome. That is awesome.
We like her.
That's
Yeah, we were
awesome.
just talking about the state of play. Since you just
okay.
jumped
So-
on, did you catch it or
I did.
Go ahead, Mo.
I did.
All right, no, that's good. I was gonna get to Jordan. I wanted to just
Okay.
address this thing from Game Positive. He said, "What do you think about
what's
the
this about?
director's cut not having all of the content from the cutting room floor, and instead having to upgrade to the deluxe edition to get the actual director's cut?" So yeah, that's what we were talking about. You know, in terms of. I mean, look, if it's a money move, it's yeah. I don't think all the additions that they did are technologically limited. I definitely think that they could have added it. I'm not talking about obviously the DualSense stuff or the loading stuff of the world or whatnot, but they probably just came together and they're like, okay, there's enough additions here to justify a fucking $10 upgrade from the PS4 to PS5. Do I think it's shitty that the PS4 people are not going to be able to get it? Yeah, sure. I do think it's shitty, but again, like I'm not going to shit on them, for it because that's what everybody's doing nowadays. So I'm going to fucking stay out of that, and I get it, I mean, yeah, I do think it should have been on the PS4, but definitely this is just an incentive for them to push more copies of the game and to sell more of it, so, yeah, man, it's fucking business. It sucks sometimes. It's not really the way that we like it to be, but definitely. And then to address Death Stranding before I get to you, Jordan, Crystal, you're going to fucking love it. What I'm hoping for with Death Stranding now is they make it more approachable because it is, I don't want to say it's a slog, but the first 15 to 20 hours are an acquired taste.
Mhm.
Okay. And once you hit this fucking point past for me, it was chapter 7. I don't want to say anything else. Chapter 7, the game just fucking goes into like this high gear and it never lets up. And what I'm hoping for is at least in the build up to all of that, he makes it a little bit more approachable for the people that are jumping in now and playing it for the first time. I'm going to play it again. I'd like to see what he did, especially with the additions and whatever, but I think this is good, man. Gives the game second legs. So we'll see. But yeah, Jordan, my
it literally
fucking son.
gives the game second legs because you get the robot.
Yeah,
I like that.
I see what you did there.
It's good.
Oh yeah, Jordan, man.
Yeah.
What do you think about the state? What do you think about the state of play, bro?
It was cool. It's better than nothing. It's not anything that would have been necessarily an E3 level showcase. They focus on the smaller titles, which was cool. Especially after the stuff we were talking about last week with their indies. For me, the standout was definitely Fist. Something about that bunny just looks so badass. And then obviously, Deathloop. I've been really excited about that. So having the whole 9-minute showcase just to kind of dive into that game. It looks like an absolute trip. I love Arcane. I know we talked about this before, but just the way that they make combat so varied in how you approach it and how you deal with these threats, and it's just lets players exercise creativity in ways that you don't normally see with shooters. Death Stranding is interesting me. We spoke about this in some DMs. I just got a PlayStation. I was never interested in it, but now that I see this director's cut thing and maybe some more gameplay, player accessibility features, that might pique my interest in it. So it was a good show because there was a lot of things that interested me, but nothing that blew me away big time. But I was entertained by it for sure.
Oh, that's good, man. God damn it. Look at all that smoke behind me, dude. I know I wasn't smoking weed. I was taking a hit of my vape, but you fucking ended it. You ended it too early.
I was
and you threw me
like,
off guard.
What's he doing?
And I was just mentioning it in the chat. I was like, hey, I'm taking a hit of my vape, guys. And of course. Oh man, you couldn't fucking just talk for 5 more seconds.
Fine. I was like, I'm giving him
Are you
something.
sure you didn't burn a
Why'd
hot
you
pocket
even
back
show
there?
up, Jordan? God damn
Oh
it,
my god,
man.
that was
Hold on,
amazing. That was
there we go.
amazing. That was amazing. I love you, man. That was so great. I started you just see it
Oh,
fucking
God.
floating over me. That was awesome. Yeah, no, that's good, man. That's pretty much what we thought about the show
Yeah.
itself. So I think again, like with these shows, I'm not sure why people are always expecting, like we're not every show that we're gonna get is gonna be like a fucking E3 event, like Xbox's E3 where they just blew it out of the water. I mean, it's not gonna happen. These small shows, you have to expect them. Like this is what they're going to be. Like, I mean, they're small shows to just show off some games here and there. It's not gonna be anything. I mean, I think it's good to temper our expectations, man. Always, so that way you won't be disappointed. I'm not sure why the fuck you'd be disappointed with more shit showing, but whatever. Honestly. Okay. Last topic. Witcher 3. Not CD Projekt Red had WitcherCon, where they showed off the the season 2 of Witcher, and obviously then they started talking a little more about Witcher 3, and they said that Witcher 3 is going to, we already knew that it was going to be fully enhanced for the next gen consoles, for Series X and PS5 and PC. There's going to be like a new upgraded version. They said there's going to be some DLC in there that's inspired by the show, which I think is pretty fucking cool. I'm looking forward to this, especially because of my time with Cyberpunk and how much time I put in. And Jordan believes that I probably will not finish this game. We've talked about this before. Yeah, but yeah, see, that's my boy, man. He just fucking encourages me. Encouragement is everywhere these days. I love it, dude. Yeah, that's great. But I think it is awesome that they're going to do this. And I think really personally for CDPR, if they end up, doing this, which will be a good move for them, especially, with their fans, and it'll be good PR for them to really knock this out of the park, and to do this and the Cyberpunk enhancement both in the same year. And if they manage to make both, as great as they say that they will be, I think this is going to be awesome. And really, that's honestly why I've held off on The Witcher 3 as well. Never personally played it, I mean, and even before I knew about the enhancement, I didn't. But after playing Cyberpunk, that's really when my interest in the game just kind of like whatever. And then obviously Ains and Jordan, and I know Ains, he's a fucking huge fan of Witcher 3. So yeah, I'm excited for it, man. We'll see. But let me start with Jordan. What do you think about? Are you gonna play it again?
Oh, dude. So it's good because I have completed The Witcher 3. I did not finish all the DLC. So Blood and Wine and what's the other one called again? Hearts of Stone. I have not finished those, so this will totally bring me back into that. I love The Witcher 3 so much. The Witcher 2 was like the first real big RPG that I really sank my teeth into as far as the lore, the characters, and man, 3 is a whole other level, man. Like I said, I applaud you for saying that you're gonna get into 3, but I just can't see you really finishing it.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, man. Thanks.
It took me probably a year to like literally beat The Witcher 3. Like I would put it down for a little bit and then come back to it and put it down and come back to it, because it really is that dense, man.
That's a 500-hour Mo game.
At least.
Jesus,
in Mo hours, that's like 1,000. So.
Oh
right.
Yeah. Crystal, for context, I take every game that I play and it's fucking crazy. For instance, and remember, I don't platinum. Okay, like I don't platinum or whatever. So Ratchet and Clank took me 27 hours. What else? Resident Evil Village took me 16 hours. And these guys were like, fucking Jordan did like his second playthrough of Village in like 8 hours. I don't know how I'm able to push these games like to I have no idea. I don't know. It's amazing. I can't wait to see what my Doom Eternal fucking final clock is going to be, but that's going to be interesting. But yeah,
keep it up.
I think I'm going to do it though. I'm going to do it, you asshole. No fucking faith in me.
You got it. I got you, man. You'll do it. You'll do it.
Yeah, sure.
But no, Witcher 3, like I said, I'm down to pick it up again. I'm curious because I know I just showed up here, but Crystal, have you played The Witcher?
I didn't finish The Witcher 3.
Okay.
I'm not quite on Mo's level, but
Okay.
I don't platinum a lot, and I'm not a
That's fine.
completionist.
Okay.
But I do. It is easy for me to get lost in a world. If you create a good artistic world in a game, I will get lost into it.
Okay.
So my reservations is that I have so many games that I'm interested in, and I know The Witcher 3 is going to be a massive time consumer, so I'm not sure that I want to go that route. And I'm not going to lie, a little bit of me, I think it's awesome. They're putting the TV show is fantastic, and I think it's great. They're putting that DLC in there. There is still a little part of me that's mad at CDPR for what they did to so many of the fans. So there is a part of me out of solidarity for those upset people that's still saying, I'm not going to give them my hard-earned boomer money. So but really it's the fucking time. I know it's going to be so many hundreds of hours, and I just don't know if I'm going to go down that rabbit hole, to be honest with you.
Yeah. It's a commitment. It is a big time commitment. It can be very rewarding, but you have to have the mindset to really go through that. And like I said, even for me, thinking about going back to it right now, especially with everything that's coming this holiday, is just the thought of it is making my head hurt.
I'm happy for the fans. People love that game, and there's so many people. These TV shows are going to introduce a new generation of gamers that are going to experience The Witcher and The Last of Us and Uncharted for the first time. And I think it's fucking awesome. They're going to be on PS5.
Yes. And they're good game adaptations too. At least The Witcher has been so far. I'm sure Last of Us will be good too. But
you know what, man? Game Positive believes in me. Game Positive, I appreciate you, brother.
Can you highlight
Papa and Dash? Yeah. These guys.
Just message.
You have to show me, because Kevin is dying, and I have to see.
Dash goes more Resident Evil Village walkthrough video part 12. Okay, guys, we just got out of the intro.
Yes. Yeah, if he ever does a walkthrough,
that's
it'll be
really
just
realistic
like that.
right there. That's pretty good. Oh shit! I think I was done with Resident Evil, and Mo's like, all right, so getting in. Let's do it.
Yeah, by the time you were
see the
done,
castle.
I wasn't even out of the castle yet at the time, and you're like, "Hey, I'm almost done." I'm like, "What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
What am I doing that you guys are not? This is crazy."
Yeah, you were like 6 hours in at that point.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
But Jordan did coin the term "savor the flavor" for me.
Savor the flavor, baby.
Yeah, definitely.
No, you do savor the flavor. So I do hear that with this Witcher, upgrade, they're actually going to make the game good. So I think that's really going to be good for people. Maybe the combat won't suck dicks, and it'll be playable. Yeah,
harsh.
Just saying,
Dude.
Never finish it. That combat was garbage.
Wow, where is Ains when I need him? Oh my lord!
I wish they would have made it a walking simulator, because the stories were good, but fighting through that,
I can hear the pitchforks. I can hear.
I know. It's fine. It's fine. Hey, I bought it. I supported CPDR, and bought it full price. Because I played The Witcher 1 and 2, and I was not a fan of the fucking Witcher combat, and I know they tried to improve it a couple times, and it still kind of sucks.
That's fair.
And I really wanted to love it, but it was really tedious. It was really tedious, and I know pitchforks are out there, but that's fine. I don't care.
So what I want you to do is to put out a tweet saying Witcher 3 sucks, and then mute your notifications.
Okay.
And
I'll
replies.
do it right after the podcast. I'll be like, I'll tweet out exactly what I said here. That maybe they'll actually make the game good with this upgrade that's coming.
Oh my god!
You know what? That's what's so beautiful about video games to me. Video games are gigantic pieces of art. Every single element inside a video game is art, and art is completely subjective. And I love that.
It is
absolutely.
It is, and it's funny because I don't hate anybody ever for loving a game that I didn't enjoy. It's just funny how games do hit differently with different, people. Totally. And I could see what people loved about The Witcher, but certain things weigh heavier on some people than they do on other people, So there just wasn't there. It lost me. It lost me at the combat, and it made it so tedious that I did not enjoy my stay. And I think my stay was about 20 hours.
Okay.
25 hours. So I gave it a fair shake. I thought, like at 20 hours, I'm not going to sit there and fucking play something I do not like. So, who knows?
Well, Elu's definitely sharpening his pitchforks for you, man. He's coming for you.
That's great. We can get on. We can get on
dual
party
wield
chat
the torch
and
and
discuss it.
pitchfork. Oh yeah, he's coming for your ass.
I love you, Elu. I'm sorry. just because the games you play are horrible. I'm sorry, man.
Wow, you
my
have
God.
chosen violence today.
Wow.
Elu, I'm with you, my brother. Screw this guy.
Eh,
His opinion doesn't count.
damn.
So really, I'll be honestly.
Yeah.
Is the combat really that bad?
No.
I didn't like it.
It's deliberate. So I will say, if you, I'm trying to think of anything you may have played that's like it. Like, it's very much kind of like God of War. You have one-on-one targeting on enemies. You'll get mobbed by enemies, but you have to be deliberate because enemies can sometimes, destroy your freaking health in 1 or 2 swipes. You have to approach encounters with knowledge of these creatures as far as what's their weaknesses, what's their strengths, and you'll learn it organically. They have a whole really in-depth compendium. It's quite accessible actually. So you have blade oils, potions you can drink, signs to cast. It's almost like you're prepping for a battle as if you watch in the show. He does the same thing. He meditates, drinks his stuff, coats his blade, boom, you're gonna go fight some stuff. There will be some hard parts for sure, and like I said, it is an adjustment, but it's very satisfying to me, overcoming some of those encounters.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just me though.
All right.
Yeah,
I
Jordan
feel
liked
like
The Witcher.
everybody I've seen talk about it has been drastically on one side or the other. I don't feel like I've ever seen anybody say it's okay. They've said it's so good or it's dog shit.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's just like Jordan said. It's like God of War, except you'll never finish it, and it's not as good. It doesn't look as great, and has a boat that sucks. And
The boat is kind of
I mean, it has lots of
agree.
wolves everywhere you go.
I'm honestly so scared for Mo to fire it up and be like, White Orchard, this is awesome. And then you're like, okay, Vesemir, first quest down. Okay, question mark. Oh, question mark.
Oh God, dude,
question
he's
mark.
never
Oh,
gonna get
question
out of the
mark.
first
Oh, question
mark.
mark.
Jordan's
Jordan,
gonna need
what's this?
Xanax just to. Yeah, no, it's
But
not happening.
what I was told is there's different layers to the side quests though.
Yeah.
You're gonna have like the shitty whatever side quests that don't add anything, and then there's actually good side quests.
Yes.
And apparently like those are labeled in the game. From what right or did I get my info wrong?
Some of them aren't directly labeled. Like you'll be surprised. You'll go down a side quest and it'll have this like if you want to read like the lore with the quest too, it'll be like just a paragraph that just keeps stretching. Or like it's like okay, you finished this part, go to this dungeon now, and then go to this area. It makes some of them go on for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's meaty, dude. It's impressive.
Fuck my life. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Well.
Oh yeah, the Baron quest I heard
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, Baron Quest was good.
Man, you guys are not helping, man. You guys are not helping. And you know what, Ilu? Yeah, you're right, man. Mo will never stop picking up herbs. Or everyone who'll do left
That'll be
from what. That's exactly how I play, and that's what fucking sucks. Because
look
I
at
would,
that.
I would
look
like
at
to get pushed forward, but god damn it, it's just gonna be hard. I'm still gonna play it. Game Positive believes in me, not not you guys.
Nah,
Sadly.
I
good for you,
believe in
Game
you.
Positive.
Yeah, you know what? Crystal believes in me too.
All
Fuck
right,
you
all
guys.
right, all right.
I don't need you to.
just try it for sure.
Yeah.
Obviously, I want you to try it, but I don't have faith. But yeah, try it.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. Let me see. Game Positive here. He said the fact that the base editions of CDPR comes with what most games would sell as a limited edition makes me forgive them for CP 2077, but their get out of jail free card is gone now. Well, I can understand that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's what Crystal was saying earlier too. So, game like. Play it on the hardest difficulty. It improves the Are you fucking out of your goddamn mind? Like, I don't even want to finish your comment. Like, I mean, I can't,
What is he?
I don't even have the dexterity. You want me to play it on the hardest difficulty?
That's
Oh
trolling.
my god!
That's
Finish
some high-level
Bloodborne
trolling.
first and then do this.
let me.
He's fucking with you. He's fucking. There's no
It has to be.
button mashing. No, I got my ass handed to me. The combat was terrible.
Oh,
I'm done. I'm done. It's a fine game. Pick it up. Go get this remaster. Support Poland. Do your part. They need you.
Yeah.
Okay? They need you.
Thoughts of Kevin's do not reflect those of the Backlog Chronicles podcast.
All these thoughts are my own. Thank
His
you.
opinions are his and his own.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was That was the last part. And look, man, this time I actually flipped the banner at the right time. I was on top of it. Wild Boy, I didn't need you to tell me it. Jordan, you haven't been in here, but Wild Boy has been on top of the shit, and I really missed Mike today because
he's
the
our
one
new
that usually
creative
flips
director.
Yeah, he kept reminding me. Yeah.
Shout out,
But
Wiley.
anyway, So anyway, that was all of our topics. Guys, chat, thank you so much for the fucking awesome and funny conversations today.
Yes.
It was great. Appreciate you all, honestly. Thank you so much. Our Sundays are always great because of you. And I'm going to get a little bit sappy on you, but it really is true. I swear to God. The highlight of my week is here, and spending it with you guys, it's my fucking pleasure, honestly. And I think I speak for these two fuckers as well. So I think they agree. And Crystal, dear guest, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
it has
you for
been
having
fantastic.
Me. You guys are hilarious. This was
You're
so
amazing.
easy.
Thank you for coming. We can't wait to have you on again, honestly.
Yes.
Anytime. Welcome anytime you shoot the shit with us. Next time, hopefully, we'll be whole. You'll get you'll get some of you'll get a little bit of each one of us. Mike is usually the quietest one though, but just talk to him about Mortal Kombat or really anything.
He'll sing.
He'll just start singing poetry. But yeah, Crystal, thank you for joining us, honestly. And so where can they find you, and where can they watch your show?
My show is on YouTube. It's youtube.com/Crystal D. Smith. Because I don't have a clever made-up name, because I guess I'm really fucking vanilla and I use my real stuff. Nobody does that on the internet, but that's just how I roll.
Was it Crystal D. Smith, like dog, or G?
Well, D is in.
Okay.
Don't forget the D. We need the D. What Judy doesn't take, the D.
You need the D.
Oh my gosh.
This was actually super fun. It was so easy vibing with you guys. Like
awesome.
It's our sense of humor is on par. It was fantastic.
Good.
Super
Absolutely. Very nice to have you with us again. And guys, again, everybody, thank you. Jordan, Kevin, you guys got any last words?
No, I'm sorry I was late, everybody. I'm sorry, Crystal. Like I said, maybe we'll get a rain check. We'll figure this all out another time. But I'm glad I got to pop in for the last 15 minutes or so, guys.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah,
Kevin, you got anything?
Just want to say that Mo says it all, man. This is the highlight of my week. I love the chat. I love all the friends out there and the friends we make. Every week I feel like there's a new person that might pop in, and thanks for coming every week, man. It's just a pleasure.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. All right, guys. Until next Sunday, I hope you guys have a fantastic week. I hope you all have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you next time. You guys have a good night. Take care. And here.